It's another episode of Spy City Hit List. I am Crazy Dave here in Granny's Kitchen in beautiful downtown Hot Springs. This is my dad and his wife's restaurant, if you didn't know that, 362 Central Avenue. And it's open Wednesday through Sunday. And this time I'm talking to another old friend of mine. Last time it was Justin Colley. We go all the way back. This time, almost all the way back, I go with Patti Savage. We started working together in 1993. At the old Rhythms Club on Central Avenue, and that was 32, let me see how many, 32 years ago, and we're both still here. And what are you doing these days?
Living large.
Living large. Now let's go back to the beginning. Because I know you started in music before I ever met you. When did you start?
God, I started singing right out of the womb, I guess.
Right out of okay. Well, we won't tell people that year. We won't. Because she don't. You know.
He did say old friends. So
old friends. So when did you start like singing professionally?
My first solo on stage was when I was 15. It was in cheerleading camp.
Okay.
And I was hooked.
Okay, and that was what state were you in at that time? Because
I was in Hot Springs.
You're from Hot Springs. South off
going to Southwest Junior High School.
All this time I thought you were from somewhere else, and you're from here.
Who knew?
32 years I've known her, and I thought all this time. Okay.
Well, I'm from Alabama. I was born in Alabama.
But
I've been here since I was 12, I think.
Okay, all right. So you were
my age,
there. You go. Now you just gave away your age. Oh no.
I don't care.
Okay, she didn't care.
I made it.
So you started singing like with bands and stuff
in my 20s.
In your 20s,
yeah.
Here in town.
Yes.
And of course, in your 20s, that was what, late 80s, I guess.
Yeah, late 80s.
Late 80s. So you were already seasoned before I even met you back at Rhythms in '93.
I would say.
Seasoned, yeah.
A little salt and pepper.
Yeah, a little bit. So tell me about from then where you've gone to now, basically. Give me a little timeline of how your music career has gone.
Well, I would think it important to say, and this is what always shocks a lot of people, when I was in school, I was classically trained as a first soprano.
Really?
Yes, and that's what she used me for, and my music teacher always told me that I didn't have a vocal strong enough to carry the lead.
Is she watching?
I don't know. Christine Farrar, peace girl.
Oh wow, called her out and everything. Okay, all right. All right, so
she was an amazing teacher. So,
yeah.
And I was a pretty good first soprano, but I didn't know until I was in my 20s that I was a natural alto, although I sang alto in church with my mom. But I was singing, I was working as a nurse at AMI Medical Center. And there's a little place called My Place. And I used to go listen
I remember that place.
To Mike Tripp.
Yeah.
And I would get up and harmonize with him. That's how I started back in.
Okay. Wow, that's going back.
And then one night I got up and I said, Mike, can I sing harmony with you? And he said, nope. And I was like, broken.
Right.
And he said, honey, you need to learn leads. He goes, I need to be backing you up. So you go learn some songs and come back and I'll play it for you. And I'll never forget him for pushing me like that.
I haven't heard from him in a long time. He passed away. I guess that's why I haven't heard from him in a while. Wow, okay. Mike Tripp. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, he used to wear a leopard jacket.
I remember. Yeah. Wow, okay.
Nicest guy in the world.
So you started...
He kicked me out of the nest.
Kicked you out. He pushed you out.
Right.
And you put together a band.
No, not even yet then.
Okay.
I started singing, because I'm a girl singer in the 80s and I didn't play an instrument, I never got hired for band.
Right.
That lead singer wasn't, and I'm sure I wasn't ready. You know, I could have if they threw me in there, because I could usually swim or not sing, but yeah, so I started just getting up and staying out in rock and roll bands, hitting every place, and seeing all my friends and doing harmony with them.
Okay. Okay.
Mike Taylor and
I know those guys.
David Virgin and Scott Weiss.
I know Scott. I still know Scott.
Reed and Hooch and Larry Womack and all those guys. And then I started singing Thunder Rose with Larry Womack and Frank and Hooch. We did that for a little bit, but I was never hired. They would let me get up there and have a 15-minute set.
Sure.
So it's kind of hard to break in a little.
Well, how long did it take before you got your own backing band? What year was it, you think?
It was after my Nashville, 1992. 1992 was my first Nashville recording contract with Trek Records, and I actually got a job at the Royal Vista. That, remember when Debbie Mize used to sing? She quit, and then they hired me there, and I hired my first band, and it was a country crossover band.
Okay. And then not long after that, you were at Rhythms, because that was 93 when that started. You was there about a year before you, and then you went to Nashville again, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. I've had 3 trips.
3 trips.
Yeah, more trips than that, but 3 different recording contracts. The last one was actually out of Texas, but we did our recording.
And you did a lot of recording. Is any of that stuff, can they find it anywhere still?
Probably not, because it was before social media, before YouTube, before cell phones. I told you I was old. So, yeah, my music was actually released on a cassette.
Well, no, wait a minute. No, you did have one CD because I had it.
Well, that was a compilation from one of my 2 first recording contracts.
Right? Boy, I wish I could put my hands on it. I had it at one time.
I tried. It's probably in storage somewhere.
So
I left country behind after that. So
you don't, I mean, yeah. Do you have any recordings? Like, are you doing any recording anymore? Do you have anything?
Not really.
Like that? Wow.
Just stuff from people YouTubing, hitting their
Oh,
cell
wow.
phones and putting. I'm on YouTube, but I don't have any of my country.
Well, I saw a bunch of
There's
stuff
absolutely
on
none
YouTube.
of my country stuff on.
Right, it was all rock and roll. What I saw on YouTube, and I think we showed some of that at the front end of this interview. Yes, so they're going to get to see some of it and maybe hear some of it. Man, I wish we could get our hands on some of that.
So I guess maybe we'll have a part 2 and I'll find it.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. If you dig it up.
I'll dig it up.
All right, now
It's probably
3 Days Rain, which is the band you're with now.
yes.
And it has gone through a couple of different iterations, but you're still rolling and you're still playing in Hot Springs on a regular basis, all different
Hot
venues.
Springs and surrounding areas.
Yeah, so you got a regular standing kind of a gig on Thursday nights at, is it called H2O Hawg or Water Hog? What do they actually
I've heard
call
both.
it? I've heard both too, so I don't know what to call it on camera. I mean, it says H2O Hawg on the sign.
Well, it's kind of been easy just to say hogs.
Hogs, okay. Well, it's down on 7 South of the Amity Road light. And it's right there on the right side. It used to be called Terry Martin's. It used to be called something else after that. Can't remember
South
what it
Haven
was.
Tavern?
South Haven. And now it's called H2O Hawg. And Thursday nights, it's an open mic with your band, 3 Days Rain, and whoever wants to show up and jam with you.
Right.
Which was me a couple of weeks ago.
And it was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun,
It
wasn't
was
it?
fun.
I had to
We
do it
mess
again.
up a lot because it's arrangements while you wait and can you play it? I don't know. Let me listen to it.
Well,
okay,
Scott
we'll throw it
Weiss,
together.
all he got to do is listen to something a minute.
Yeah.
And he
can learn
bang
how
it
to
out.
song structurally enough to do it in about 2 minutes.
And he's been playing with you for ever. Yeah.
Since the 80s.
Right. But with 3 Days Rain, since
3
you
Days
started
Rain.
this one,
4 years?
yeah.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
he's been around. He's played with everybody.
Yeah, we started that open mic about 4 years ago down here at the Trough, then moved it to the Malco, then moved it to the Big Chill, and then we moved it to the Central.
Essentially, yeah.
And then it moved to the Big Chill, and so we just decided to start another one up because that one's it's a great jam. Those guys are all amazing musicians, but I've heard a lot of people say that they're just not having enough time to get on and get off, and a lot of people come up there and don't get a chance. So I thought it'd be a good time to go ahead and start mine up again.
And it's been getting some pretty good crowds.
Yeah. It's got a good crowd.
For a Thursday night. That's exceptional crowds there sometimes. Yeah.
50, 60 people.
Right. Right. And I loved it the time and I'm looking back too.
I hope you do.
It's a big old fun
It's
time.
always fun.
So
It's a casual jam.
you're playing at other places as well. You got bookings coming up at other local places. Talk about those.
Played the Sand Trap out at Hot Springs Village quite a bit. They're a great crowd.
Yeah.
They're
I used to
fun.
play
They got
that.
great food. And it's only a 2-hour gig though. It's like when
Oh,
we just
wow.
start getting started, we have to stop. But that's their
Yeah.
thing. So,
Yeah.
but it's always fun.
Where else?
Gosh, we played the Bogies this Saturday.
That's over
past
Malvern?
Saturday night in
Malvern.
Malvern Country Club.
Mhm.
It was a lot of fun. And we'll be at Hogs again. And we just kind of.
Well, hey, look, I know the people in Hot Springs know how to find Patti Savage. If you want to book her for one of your venues, she's not hard to find, y'all. She just look on the interwebs. She's on there somewhere. I promise.
Or ask somebody.
Yeah, or ask somebody. Everybody knows you too.
Everybody does.
Everybody knows you. You know who I haven't seen in a long time? Rex.
My husband.
Yes, I've never seen him.
He's a legend.
I'm starting to think he's imaginary.
Everybody does.
I'm starting to think she buried him in the backyard, and she just tells people, oh, he just didn't want to
Well,
come out tonight.
I've thought about it a few times.
You tell Rex I said, hey.
I'll do it.
I haven't seen
He
him
has
forever.
been down. He's been coming down to the open mic and playing pool.
Really? He wasn't there the night I was there,
No.
dadgummit. I haven't seen him in a long time.
I'll make sure he comes.
Okay, you tell him. Okay, this is Patti Savage, 3 Days Rain, hanging out with us on Spa City Hit List.